The revelation begins. Jesus revealed to the church. The revelation begins. Jesus revealed to the church. Revelations 1 through 3. Before Revelation shows us beasts, wars, judgments, or crowns, it shows us Jesus. Not the baby in the manger, not the suffering servant on the cross, but the risen, reigning, glorified Christ. This book does not begin with fear. It begins with unveiling. The revelation of Jesus Christ. Not the revelation of the Antichrist. Not the revelation of the end times, but the revelation of Jesus Christ, who He is now, and how He stands among His church. John on Patmos, a silenced voice that God still used. John writes this revelation not from a palace, not from a pulpit, but from exile. He is old, he is isolated, and he is banished to the island of Patmos for one reason. He would not stop testifying about Jesus. Rome thought they had silenced him, but heaven was about to speak louder than ever. This is important for the remnant to hear. God often releases His clearest revelations when His servants feel most forgotten. John says, I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, not bitter, not defeated, still worshiping. And suddenly, I heard behind me a loud voice like a trumpet. Revelations begins not with chaos, but with a voice. John turns to see who is speaking, and what he sees undoes him. Not a gentle shepherd, not a teacher among crowds, but Christ clothed in authority. Eyes like fire, seeing everything. Feet like burnished bronze, unmovable and tested by fire. A voice like many waters, unstoppable and overwhelming. A sword from His mouth, because His word judges and divides. And John, the beloved disciple, the one who leaned on Jesus' chest, falls at His feet as though dead. This is the Jesus the modern church has forgotten. Not tame, not casual, not reduced. Holy, risen, and glorious. Yet He lays His hand on John and says, do not be afraid. Authority and compassion in the same breath. Then Jesus does something sobering. He does not immediately judge the world. He walks among the lampstands, the churches. Revelation teaches us this truth plainly. Judgment begins in the house of God. Jesus addresses 7 real churches, but there are also 7 spiritual conditions found in every generation. Ephesus, faithful but loveless. They worked hard, they endured, but they lost their first love. Orthodoxy without intimacy breaks the heart of Christ. Smyrna, faithful and persecuted, poor, afflicted, faithful. Jesus does not rebuke them, He comforts them. Suffering does not mean abandonment. Pergamum, compromised. Truth mixed with tolerance. Faith mixed with culture. Jesus calls compromise dangerous, even when it looks small. Thyatira, loving but undisciplined. Good works, growing faith, but tolerance of corruption. Love without holiness still invites judgment. Sardis, alive in name, but dead in spirit. Busy, impressive, but spiritually asleep. Jesus says, wake up. Philadelphia, weak but faithful. A little strength, great obedience. Jesus opens doors no one can shut. Laodicea, lukewarm. Rich, comfortable, self-sufficient. Jesus stands outside the church knocking. This is the most frightening image of all. The message to the remnant today. We are living in Revelations 2:3 at this moment. Before seals open, before trumpet sounds, before the world shakes, Christ is examining his church, not to destroy it, but to refine it. He is calling for repentance, for endurance, for holiness, and for love restored. This is not condemnation. This is mercy. Because he corrects whom he loves. The promise to the overcomer. To every church, Jesus gives a promise. Not to be comfortable, not to be popular, but to the overcomer. Those who remain faithful, those who do not bow, and those who endure. Hidden manna, white stones, authority, crowns, and life. Revelation begins with this truth. No matter what comes, Jesus knows his people, and he is still walking among them. Before we talk about the end of the world, we must ask, where do we stand with Christ? Before judgment falls on nations, Christ speaks to his church, and his message is clear. Return to me, remain faithful, overcome. Tomorrow, we will step into heaven itself and see the throne that governs history. But today, the question is not about prophecy. It's about relationship. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Keep following and listening, guys, as we study on into Revelations and what he's talking to the remnant about the end times. God bless you and have a good day.